Hello, I'm Sam, and this is the complete Zelda Hyrulean Royal Family Tree. We of course start off with the first game in the timeline, Skyward Sword. Here we meet the first iteration of Zelda along with her father Gaebora. While Zelda's mother is unknown, Zelda herself is the human incarnation of the goddess Hylia, adding her to the family tree. Gaebora has a pet rimlet named Mia, and Zelda has a pet Loftwing, although sadly it goes unnamed. Who can say where the road goes? How the day flows, only time. Moving on, we have Sonia, her husband Rauru, and Raru's sister Mineru. I know refounding is a popular theory in the Zelda community, but for the sake of a cohesive family tree, we'll be going with the idea that Sonia and Rauru are the original founders of Hyrule. Unfortunately, Rauru and Sonia died young and didn't have any known children, so the crown likely passed on to one of Sonia's family members. From there, the crown continued to be passed down from generation to generation until eventually reaching King Gustaf. King Gustaf is an ancient Hylian king who appears as a ghost in the events of Minish Cap. Next up, we have this princess who received the Light Force from the Minish. It's unknown how she's related to the rest of the family, but I'd wager she's the daughter of Gustaf, given that both of them are almost identical to the modern Minish Cap royal family. Speaking of which, they're up next, King Daltus and the first ever Princess Zelda. Zelda from Skyward Sword never becomes a princess, and the Light Force princess isn't named, so Minish Cap Zelda is the first Princess Zelda chronologically. From there, we reach Four Swords Zelda, who unfortunately doesn't have anything of note to talk about. Following her, however, we have Ocarina of Time Zelda. Zelda's father is present during the game, but is just off-screen. There's also this white horse, which we know belongs to the royal family. Sadly though, it goes unnamed, much like Zelda's Loftwing. Who can say where the road goes? Of course, as we all know, Ocarina of Time splits the timeline into three, which means 3 times the Descendants to cover here. Starting off, we have the Child Timeline, which is ironically the shortest timeline for our purposes. We have Twilight Princess Zelda, followed by Four Swords Adventure Zelda, and that's it. The Adult Timeline, on the other hand, has a couple more members. There's King Daphnes to start, alongside his daughter who's only ever seen in this portrait. During the Great Flood, this princess and some of her servants fled to the mountains, eventually becoming pirates. All future descendants of this princess were later crowned the captain of the pirate crew. Over time, the title of captain passed down to Tetra's mother, who is seen in this portrait, and then eventually down to Tetra herself. From there, Tetra founded New Hyrule and re-established the monarchy, with her great-great-granddaughter being the Zelda we see in Spirit Tracks. This happens to be the only time we get a clear-cut connection between 2 known iterations of Zelda. Finally, we have the Downfall Timeline, where we first meet Link to the Past Zelda and her father, the King of Hyrule. The king spends most of the game as a corpse, but in the end he recovers thanks to Link's wish on the Triforce. According to the Zelda website, Oracle Zelda is up next. Not much to say about her other than she looked like Ocarina of Time Zelda. From there, the crown passes down to Link Between Worlds Zelda. I thought about putting Hilda on the tree since she's an alternate version of Zelda, but I think that's too far of a stretch. After Link Between Worlds, we reach Zelda's starring role in Echoes of Wisdom. Here we see her father, the King of Hyrule, and her 2 pets, a horse and a cat. Once again, it's shown Zelda doesn't care about naming her pets. Who can say? Sometime after Echoes of Wisdom, we reach the wise King of Hyrule and his 2 kids, Princess Zelda and her brother. The king chose to split the Triforce into 3, leaving the first 2 parts for the prince and hiding the 3rd one. The prince, angered, threatens Zelda, believing she knows where the final piece is. A magician hired by the prince then casts a sleeping spell on Zelda, causing her to sleep until the events of Zelda 2. While Zelda is sleeping, the prince continues the royal bloodline and makes an order to name all future princesses after his sister, culminating in Zelda 1's Princess Zelda. But we still aren't done, as we still have to talk about Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. Somewhere after these 3 timelines, we meet the ancient princess who sealed the initial calamity. Sometime later, it is stated that King of Hyrule had a pet dog, and that Hylian retrievers we see nowadays are descendants of said dog. Technically, this branch of dogs could have happened earlier, but I put it here since we haven't seen Hylian retrievers before this point. About 10,000 years after the ancient princess, we have Wild Era Princess Zelda and her father, King Rome. Her mother and grandmother are also mentioned in-game, adding them to the tree. From there, we meet Zelda's old horse in a flashback who, you guessed it, goes unnamed. That horse later goes on to have descendants who are seen in both Wild Era games where they can be tamed by Link. In between Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, Zelda also picked up a new golden horse, which again goes unnamed. But if you find the horse in-game, Link can take temporary ownership of the horse and give it a name truly befitting of a royal steed. I'm named it Banana. And that's the entire Zelda Hyrulean Royal Family Tree. If you enjoyed this video, I also made a video discussing Pac-Man's family tree, which you might find interesting, but I also have quite a few Zelda videos you can watch too. Either way, stay hydrated, and I'll see you next time. Bye!